you so much. Yeah, thank you very much. So, I mean, look, I think, like you've been saying, right, the handwriting's on the wall with regards to this upcoming election in 2027. Today, I think I think you're speaking from the school of realism, right? If you're to be realistic, if things continue in the trajectory that they are today, it's nearly impossible for President Tinubu not to be reelected. And not just because some of the governors are changing parties, right? I think those guys are doing it because they're looking more at 2031 post Tinubu's presidency, and they're trying to position themselves to with align with where the power is. I mean, look, even if all the governors in Igbo land defect to APC, I don't think Tinubu will win that region, right? His goal is to pick up enough votes in that region, and move on to the other parts of the country. I do see that. I do see a clear path for him in Nigeria to become re-elected. Even though I will not fashion myself to be an expert in this regard, but Comrade spoke earlier, and his analysis is spot on. You have difficulty if you want to be realistic, not delusional, not overly idealistic. If you listen to what Comrade said, you'll have difficulty with not agreeing that Tinubu is stacking the decks. People it used to be that they would say that if you won Kano and Lagos, you're in. But Tinubu didn't win Kano in the last election, 2023. He didn't win Eko, right? But he won the presidency. So he's showing us a different way of playing presidential politics in Nigeria. And I think the man is just a master strategist, right? In this upcoming election, Tinubu is going to win Yoruba land, hands down. Like you just don't even bother trying to compete with him. You know, people of Eko are not going to vote for Tinubu. I mean, again, I'm going to go to quote. They're not going to vote against Tinubu in this coming election. They will not vote for Vita Obi. They will not vote for Atiku. If you want to be realistic, right? And in the last election, the only state, even in Yoruba land, the two PDP, well, I'm sorry, in the southwest geopolitical region, because Yoruba land is beyond southwest, but in the southwest geopolitical zone, the two states that Tinubu lost were Oyo. No, sorry, the two states that were PDP held were Oyo and Oshun. He even won Oyo, despite it being the PDP state. The only state that Tinubu lost, apart from Eko, was Oshun. And this time around, they are putting so much energy and focus into Oshun that I think they're going to flip it. They are likely going to win Oshun this time. And even if they don't, they're not going to lose Oyo. This time, probably they're definitely going to win Eko. So, because if you look at how I think there's been an epiphany following the 2023 election amongst because you saw how the election was prosecuted with a lot of the ethnic factor came to play, and it will always come to play in Nigeria's elections. You can't escape it. And some of the rhetoric that was issued, we're going to take Lagos, all these things. The people of Eko voted for Peter Obi in the presidential election, and within like a 2 week period, they changed their minds and they went for APC in the local elections. So people of Eko have been really thinking, particularly in Yoruba land, right? There's an awakening with regards to the ethnic Game of Thrones in Nigeria. There is a renaissance of understanding that there is no particular ideology that's going on Nigeria's politics. The ideology is really ethnic politics. And so anyone who thinks that Yoruba land is going to vote against Tinubu this time around is just you're not following the earth is shifting between beneath your feet, and you're just playing wrong. I think Tinubu will probably pick up. He'll probably win majority of the South, and the middle belt. He's also going to win, if not all of the middle belt. He will win a good amount of there because he has been appointing people from that region to federal positions, and they are very happy about that. And they have long been ignored. If you want to be honest, in Nigeria's politics, they rarely get selected for major positions within the administration. And they have been appointed them to positions. They're happy about it. There's infrastructural developments. There's a road from Makodi, that's being done. People who are over there are they 100% happy? No, but I think that they're pleased to an extent. So if you look at, southwest zone, much of the middle of the south zone, much of the middle belt, if not all of the zone. And if he picks up a few states, maybe one or two states in the east, even if he gets no states in the east, and he gets a couple of states here and there in the northeast and northwest, it's over. It's over. Game over. So it's going to be very difficult to defeat him with the way. And look, you may even see more governors defect, which means that their influence is going to come in his favor. I also think that while people are underestimating President Tinubu, they are overestimating the opposition, whether it is Atiku or Peter Obi. I think Peter Obi has lost a lot of popularity in the last couple of years, and I don't think people are ready for that reality. But you're going to see as time passes. People are watching his behaviors. There's some inconsistency. I would say there's some hypocrisy going on here. The people are like, we're not sure this guy is very, very like, the one for the country. Look at again, look at the move, just looking at the strategy in the country. The way the rhetoric he issues, the people are noticing that he's always very like ethnic sided in his rhetoric. You can't do that and expect Nigerians to put you in office, right? um People are banking on this economy being so like the economic struggles in order to win for Tinubu to be voted out of office. It's not going to happen. We are beginning to understand that the Nigeria was practically bankrupt after Buhari's presidency. Tinubu had to reform the economy, make tough decisions. Now the naira that was skyrocketing has stabilized, right? Are there going to be occasional inconveniences? Yes. But the economy is being stabilized. And even though the palliative measures took a long time to go around, by the time the election comes around, most of those measures would have even gone even farther than today. I think we underestimate Nigeria's understanding of why the economy is the way it is. Whereas I admit Tinubu did a bad job in explaining what's going on with the economy and why we had to take such drastic measures. I believe they are getting the word out. People are understanding what's happening. The measures they're taking are beginning to spread through the economy, and you'll be surprised that this whole economy is bad thing will not necessarily play in. It's been overestimated. Finally, the coalition. I don't see them on sitting President Tinubu because, first of all, who's going to take a back seat? Will Atiku take a back seat for Peter Obi? Never going to happen. That man's been running for office since I think the 1990s, trying to get into the presidency one way or the other. And he's getting older. He's not going to take advantage for Peter Obi. Not going to happen. And I think that people are overestimating Peter Obi's influence in the north. I also think that they are going to remain split because Peter Obi will have difficulty allowing Atiku to be president for him to wait for 8 more years because I think he has a little bit of delusion about the depth of his popularity, which has decreased since the last election. So Peter Obi is not going to want to step down. Atiku is not going to want to step down. They're going to remain split, thereby leaving the gap wider for Tinubu to walk through on top of what is already put in place right now. So, you know, I'm waiting to see how the game is going to play out, but I think it's really playing in favor of President Tinubu right now. And I'll yield on that point. Thanks.